What up? What's up, Rebuke? Rebuke All Devils Radio. Rebuke All Devils Radio. 107.7. A hell of a name for a radio station. Rebuke All Devils. I'm with you, man. Rebuke All Devils. Put an addendum on it. An uncivilized much.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on with it, man? Welcome back to another edition of Rebuke All Devils Radio, 107.7, home of the truth. And man, do I have a very exciting update for you today. I want y'all to check this out. This is for fair use, informational purposes, and educational purposes only. This is a war update, World War III update. Let's roll that clip.
After a single night of retaliation, has Iran's 824-shot barrage effectively turned half the Middle East into an active war zone with no clear front line anymore? As missiles and drones slam into the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain, are Gulf skies now the newest front line where US bases and Arab cities share the same danger zone? With debris and blast shocks reaching Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Doha, and Kuwait City, how long before these civilian hubs start to feel less like safe transit points and more like targets? As Operation Epic Fury rolls on, has what began as a decapitation strike now backfired into a region-wide live-fire corridor that Washington can no longer fully control? After Trump and Netanyahu ordered large-scale airstrikes on Iran on February 28, the IRGC responded by unleashing its promised wrath across the wider region. That retaliatory missile and drone barrage has turned vast stretches of the Middle East, from Israel to the Gulf, into a patchwork war zone. True to earlier warnings, Iran did not only target Israel but also the host nations of US bases, spreading risk to allies Washington depends on. Between February 28 and March 1, at least 465 missiles and 357 drones were launched across multiple countries, according to initial battle tallies. In total, more than 824 projectiles were reported fired from Iran, with tracks reaching as far as Cyprus, Iraq, and deep into Gulf airspace. In Cyprus, 2 Iranian missiles were reported entering regional monitoring grids, reminding Europe how close the war now sits. Over Oman, 3 drones were detected amid broader Gulf air defense alerts, showing how wide the barrage envelope really was. Bahrain's logs recorded about 45 missiles and 9 drones, many aimed near the US 5th Fleet's headquarters. In Iraq, 7 mixed volleys of missiles and drones were reported near Erbil, with 9 drones intercepted before impact. Israel was hit hardest, with more than 200 missiles and over a dozen drones targeted at its territory in successive waves. Jordan saw 13 missiles and roughly 36 drones cross its airspace, dragging another US partner into the aerial crossfire. Kuwait reported multiple missiles and at least 2 drones near critical facilities, triggering brief flight and security disruptions. Around Qatar's Al Udeid base, home to major US assets, some 66 missiles were tracked in the vicinity before interceptions. Saudi Arabia reported between 0 and 2 missiles or drones near its borders, still enough to force heightened alert. Over Syria, at least 1 missile was recorded amid broader regional flight disruptions and rerouted air corridors. The UAE faced some of the heaviest fire, with around 140 missiles and 270 drones reported in concentrated waves. In the UAE, falling missiles and interceptor debris hit parts of Abu Dhabi and the Palm Jumeirah, injuring civilians and shattering any sense of distance from the fight. Dubai and Abu Dhabi diverted or delayed flights as air defense batteries chased incoming threats over coastal corridors normally filled with airliners. Around Qatar's Al Udeid base, interceptions rattled nearby Doha neighborhoods and briefly disrupted regional air traffic. Kuwait reported blasts near its main airport, noting minor terminal damage and temporary halts in departures and arrivals.
Once again, this is fair use. This is breaking news in your World War III live update on Rebuke All Devils Radio, 107.7, home of the truth, where you can tune in and catch the livest update on all breaking news. Thank you for tuning in, and back to this special report.
In Bahrain, the Jaffa district saw evacuations and damage inspections after impacts near facilities tied to the US Fifth Fleet. Jordanian air defenses shot down ballistic missiles overhead, filling the night with booming explosions but causing limited reported ground damage. Jordan's foreign ministry condemned the attackers without any justification, stressing that Oman had tried to keep its territory out of the confrontation. Saudi Arabia branded the salvos blatant Iranian aggression and a flagrant violation of its sovereignty, even if direct impacts were limited. All of this fallout comes in the wake of Trump's 10-day ultimatum to Tehran over the stalled nuclear deal, a deadline that ended not with signatures, but with strikes. US and Israeli forces launched Operation Epic Fury after weeks of visible buildup around Iran, betting a decisive blow could still change its calculus. Trump vowed that the goal was to destroy their missiles and raze their missile industry to the ground, promising a short, sharp campaign. Iran's foreign minister countered that Tehran does not understand why the US attacked, suggesting Washington had been dragged into a conflict it could not control. Arachi said, and I quote, "We do not understand the reasons for the US attack on Iran. Perhaps the US administration was dragged into it. Here is what I do know: Iran will punish those who kill our children. Our enmity is not with the American people, who are being lied to yet again." Unquote. On March 1st, Iran and Israel traded yet more missiles and airstrikes, showing that neither side was ready to step back after the first punishing exchange. With missiles and drones now crisscrossing borders nightly, much of the Middle East is living under live fire skies, waiting to see which capital blinks first.
Yeah, man, and there you have it. This is crazy. Now, do y'all think it's going to escalate? And let me ask you this question. How do America think they could kill someone's supreme leader and think the whole world is going to rejoice, or the citizens are going to be happy? You know, there's major protests going on everywhere. You know, and there have been reports, and I've seen them with my own eyes, of the American embassies in several countries on fire. So, you know, we don't, and then Israel is getting punished. Oh man, I'm trying to tell you, Iran is lighting them up. I'm gonna try to bring y'all some of that footage, but this is your breaking news, World War III alert and World War III update. Thank you for tuning in to Rebuke All Devils Radio. And if you would like to support the station, please hit the link in the description box below. Shalom.